but I just don't feel like playing any of them. Is it Digimon MMO that got an English patch a few months back? That's cool. I don't think I want to play it, but it sounds cool. What on earth is this and where did it come from? I've had every book in this game like read for months. I did not buy this. I have no clue where that book came from. More like getting rid of capsules machines. Well, that's good. For sure, Ram. Did any of you guys play P5X by chance? I think that shit was literally a pixel off of being leveled up. That's annoying. Jack, can you believe I've actually been going to bed at like somewhat reasonable hours lately? I've been in bed before like 3 a.m. every night for a while now, I think. Now how long will that last? I don't know. Probably not very long. But, you know. You know, they added this trial of the Astrolab shit, and I really don't understand it at all. Yeah, I don't know. I'm gonna have to watch a video on how this shit like works, cause I really don't get it. What are people's teams looking like? Well, you know what? Since I didn't pull for Monts, I don't know if I'll be able to stay in 8-star this time around. Is there anybody up here who's not using her that did well? Every single team has her. Oh, this team doesn't. Okay, so it's doable. Figure something out eventually, I guess. I've only got to stay in the top 1,000. That should be very, very doable. What are people doing in the companion? I fell all the way to 10. Remember when I was top 3 every single week? We got some big spenders in the companion now though, so I'm barely ever even top 5 if that these days. At least people are actually doing something to get points on the board. Seems like a lot of people these days, they wait till the very last minute to do any runs. Which I can't even be mad at because I've been doing that a lot too. But at least I'll do like an auto run or something just to get points on the board. Almost at the end. I wonder if they ever add more levels to Metro Desire. Because by the time I finish these off, I'll probably be at 180. I don't know if the other servers have more or not. Should be more than sufficient. Yeah, what's good, Masa? Is that John Cena? W. All these palaces take years to finish. To be honest, I think it's two things. One of them good, one of them not so. It's to make it feel like it's worthwhile, you know, to continue playing the game like there is. it's to make it feel like, you know, there's more content, right? But also, I think it could also be a little bit of artificial inflation as well, for that sake of like making it a grind and wanting you to like keep playing and shit. I don't know. I think they do go a little heavy on the dialogue, but that's kind of just Persona in general. I mean, yeah, it was like you said, they're trying to make you come back for something. So. At least for what it's worth, the third palace, like this arc is like really good. A big jump from the first two. Yeah, it's the best by far. I haven't started like the new shit that just came out in the last patch. Well, I mean, I started it, but I haven't like been playing through the palace yet, but you know, let's actually go that route. Looking for tomorrow? Oh shit, where are you off to? You got a significant other, do you agree on how to load the dishwasher or the kitchen cabinets? So with Eunice and I, it's not really so much as we disagree, more so, yeah, like I kind of had a way that I load dishes, and like I showed Eunice and she was just like, oh, okay. It was more so that like I just felt like her method was a little more haphazard than like how I was taught, so I just was like, well, I do it this way, and she was like, fair. Rockland P5X, so yeah, I still play pretty much every single day. Hand washing or nothing. I mean, so I do still hand wash certain things, because there are certain things that just aren't dishwasher safe or whatever, but I mean, I know some people don't feel like dishwashers are very effective. I think those people are wrong, and maybe they're just using them wrong. But I think that's also a big reason why some people aren't fans of dishwashers or think that they aren't good, because they don't load their dishwasher properly, or they aren't using good detergent. I very rarely have a problem with putting stuff in the dishwasher. But that's just me. What dish detergent you using? Here, I'll show you. I use this bad boy right here. Good old Cascade. Cascade dishwasher detergent gel. The way to go for me. I think I prefer the gel over powders and pods. I don't know if it's actually better, but I feel like it is in my experience. I've used it all though. I've used many different brands and different types. And the Cascade gel is my go-to. I have a lot of dishes that I hand wash only because they have designs or something on them. Yeah, we've got a few things like that as well. for certain things that just make more sense to hand wash. Cascade pots because the cats used to try and eat the gel or lick it. Funnily enough, my the cabinets under the sink in our kitchen actually have childproof locks on them, so even if we had like cats or dogs that roamed around, they would not be able to get into those. I mean, yeah, when I was very young, I didn't have a dishwasher either. Like I used to always wash dishes by hand, but I've had a dishwasher for more of my life than I haven't at this point. And obviously it's always used. Like I said, it's usually a combination of both. Certain things I just wash by hand anyway, but for the most part, the dishwasher gets the job done. The thing I always hated about pods as well is that like so many of them like don't fit into the actual fucking like dispenser or whatever. And I had times where like either gotta like crush it or break it or like it gets stuck or something. I've even had times in the past where like I've ran a dishwasher and like the pod is not fully dissolved from like the little spot or whatever. It was good, Kev. I'm about to start my first Pokemon Black 2 playthrough. Played up to Black White only as a kid. I recently played through Pokemon Black 2. I never really talked about it. It's better than Black 1. Or I guess I played White and then Black 2, but you know, same shit, whatever. Black 2 is better, but that shit is incredibly overrated. Like, it's cool, like it's a good game, but I don't know why it was always so hyped up. Is the post game as good as people say? I'm gonna be honest, I ain't played the post game, so maybe that's where all the fun is. But to me, like, I don't know. Like, I doubt that would like make me think like, oh shit, this is one of the greatest Pokemon games ever. Maybe it would though, I don't know. I'd still have to go back and give it a shot. But I can't say that I honestly like did. Black 2 post game is when the real game starts. I feel like if the real game of a video game don't start to post game, it's not a good game. I'm trying to think, are there any games that I really like? That's not true. Monster Hunter. Monster Hunter is like that, where I don't give a fuck about the story really. The game starts after you beat the story. That's not quite the same. It's similar though, so I mean there's that. Yeah, I think Monster Hunter is a little different. Like, it's similar, but I don't quite view it the same. But like, I'm trying to think, are there any games out there that like I'm like, oh yeah, this shit don't really start to the post game? Other than technically Monster Hunter, nah, I can't really think of one, at least not in my own experience. It could be something I'm forgetting, but I'm not thinking of anything. No. Can't really think of a game where the post game is the point. Yeah, Monster Hunter is the only thing that comes to mind. It's a game with an actual story. The post game shouldn't be the best part. Yeah, I kind of agree. But I mean, the story in Pokemon games has never been like amazing anyway. But I don't know, like, for me though, like when I'm playing through a Pokemon game, like while the story isn't necessarily like the appeal to me, the post game isn't either. Like, it's just like a little bonus, you know what I'm saying? Like, when I'm playing through a Pokemon game, it's more so, I guess, the journey, for lack of a better way of putting it and not sounding corny. You know what I mean? Where it's like, I enjoy the gameplay loop. I like going from gym to gym, you know, catching my Pokemon, training them up and everything like that. Like, that's the fun part. What Pokemon can I encounter here? Whatever little puzzles exist in the game and shit, you know what I'm saying? Like, to me, the appeal of a Pokemon game, or like what sells me on those games, isn't the actual story itself, because it's usually like mediocre or bad. And it's not the post game, because like I don't go into a Pokemon game for that reason. I guess DMC for some people. See, I've never played a DMC game. Heart Gold post game is kind of part of the journey still. Heart Gold's post game is really good. Oh, but again, like, Heart Gold is an incredible game even without the post game. Like, that would still be my favorite game even if the post game didn't exist. But then you add that on top and it's just like, oh my god, like, this thing that I thought couldn't get any better just somehow got even a little bit better. You know what I mean? Ooh, got a nativity card. Wait, that seems pretty good. Wow, that's a good pull. I hate asking for difficulty in Pokemon because I know it's not going to happen. I don't really go into Pokemon looking for a challenge, to be honest. They're children's games anyway. Sword and Shield was the only time I played a game and I was like, damn, bro, this shit is like laughably easy. Like, y'all ain't even like, yeah, y'all made this for 3-year-olds for real, for real. But I mean, that game had a ton of other problems as well, so. But I mean, Pokemon is also a series that like, they just keep adding so many quality of life improvements that is just, again, like the game's like super duper hold your hand. It's just, it is what it is at this point. Our goal was 2009. Time flies, huh? Oh wait, psychokinesis. I don't know why my head went to nuclear. Pikachu and Eevee was dumb easy. Yeah, but those games were fun. When those games came out, they were at the time the best games on Switch, and they still were the best Pokemon games on Switch until the Switch 2 came out and Scarlet Violet became a playable game. In my opinion. Are those like actual Pokemon games? Yeah, no, Let's Go Pikachu and Let's Go Eevee are like Gen 1 remakes for the Switch, basically. They're not like one-to-one, but that is essentially what they are. X and Y is so easy, but I enjoyed it because the Dex is great. Here's the thing. I've never played a Pokemon game in my life and was like, wow, this shit's actually really hard. You know what I'm saying? They're all easy. But I also really enjoyed X and Y. You know, I think the Let's Go games are very, very fun. Didn't bring a healer, but I shouldn't need it. This is only difficulty 4. My Switch became a Xenoblade / Bayonetta machine. My Switch is honestly mainly a Pokemon machine. Even though I have like plenty of other games to play on, and that's mostly what it gets used for is Pokemon. Choosing Charmander before Metal Claw was the only hardcore mode moment I had with Pokemon. So like my first ever Pokemon game was Yellow, so I started with Pikachu. And I can almost guarantee you that as a child, I probably didn't catch anything other than Pikachu until I was at least 2 or 3 gyms deep. So I definitely would have beaten Brock. I probably had to train my Pikachu up to like level 30 in order to beat Brock. And at which case I was obviously grossly over leveled for the rest of the game. I'm almost certain that's how it went for me as a kid. My Switch is a Fire Emblem Pokemon machine. I mean, I love Fire Emblem. And I've played 3 Houses and Engage, but that's the only 2 ones you got. Whereas at least with Pokemon, you got Sword, Shield, Scarlet Violet, Let's Go. Is it just those 3? Why did I feel like there was a 4th? Oh, Arceus, and then now there's ZA. Even though I didn't pick up ZA, but I'm really hoping I like that new Fire Emblem. I would be shocked if I didn't. See, for me, as somebody whose first ever Fire Emblem game was 3 Houses, I think it set like a really high bar and standard. But I'm not somebody who's been into Fire Emblem for a very long time. So like I'm not like a Fire Emblem like purist or traditionalist or anything like that, right? I'm a relatively new fan in the grand scheme of things, so I don't have like a concrete idea or belief or philosophy of what makes a Fire Emblem game a Fire Emblem game, or like what it's supposed to be, or you know, anything like that. So for me, it's like, it's much easier. Like Engage, for example, right? A lot of people don't like Engage. I love it. Now the story obviously is not good, you know what I'm saying, and fucking Colgate MC is, you know, it is what it is. But like, there's some people like, this shit ain't Fire Emblem. I'm like, it's Fire Emblem to me. Like, I don't, you know what I'm saying? Like, I have a much looser idea of what Fire Emblem is. So I'm a lot more malleable. So for me, like, I'd be shocked. They'd have to just completely and entirely change like the gameplay system or like the combat of a Fire Emblem game for me to not fuck with it, I think. Or like every single character in the game would have to fucking suck, which like, I don't even know if that's possible.
Nothing.
The Fly Trap, thank you for the 60 months, appreciate it.
Everything
like
is ordinary.
Never slipping on banana peels. Three Houses, I just didn't like the characters enough to be invested. That's crazy because I think there's so many great characters in Three Houses. Also, you just give me like 1 or 2 waifus to chase after. That's gonna be enough as well. I really only need like 1 or 2 really cool guy characters and like 1 or 2 baddies, and that's it. Which reminds me, I still need to play through Conquest. Again, how's it hanging? I'm about to be hanging, all right. Yeah, I really like Shamir. Shamir, Petra, Felix as well. Yeah, it was one of them ones. Catherine. Petra was the one for me though, for sure, in that game. Love Petra. Did any of y'all play through Engage? Any Engage enjoyers or haters for that matter? See, I love the Engage cast, can't lie. Dog. I also love the cast in Engage a lot. I fucking love Yunaka so much. That's my motherfucking little goat. My Yunaka was so fucking broken. I didn't get far enough into Engage to form an opinion. The thing is, I can't even blame people if like they don't like get very far in that game, because like it starts off pretty rough. Like the cast of characters you start off with are not great, and then the story is also bad. So like if niggas like get a couple hours into that game and like, this shit is not for me, I can't be mad at it. And I hate to be oh, it gets better, wait till you get to this part ass nigga, but like it definitely does get better like as you play it. Like I'm never gonna be a nigga that's like, hey bro, like you gotta give it a chance though, like you just got, you know what I'm saying, like IGN gave the same score to Legends ZA as Time Stranger, and so I'm going to just have to lift the fact that Pokemon is not going to be for me going forward. Yeah, I think if they're going to continue to follow that path, which I don't know, I've seen a conversation about whether or not the Legends games are like mainline games, which to me they're not. Like to me those are like very obviously spin-off games or like side titles, but like if the mainline games start taking inspiration or influence from those games, I'm gonna be really disappointed in the future of Pokemon, honestly. Because then it won't really be for me either. Which, I mean, it is what it is. I mean, it's a franchise I've been with my whole life, so it would suck to have to give it up. But can't have everything forever, I guess. Fire Emblem Radiant Dawn is on the Nintendo Online thingy. Really? Is it time for me to boot up the old Switch? Wait, Radiant Dawn. Okay. I'm sure that one's good, and I will play it someday, but I thought Path of Radiance for a second, and I'm slightly less excited now, because in my head, like, even though I clearly read Radiant Dawn, I interpreted it as Path of Radiance for a moment, and... Yo, Batman, thank you for the watch streak, homie. Oh wait, it is Path of Radiance? See, now I'm excited again. Now if Flatchop's wrong, he has to get banned. The market for that game's gonna drop like a rock? I hope so, because then I'd buy a copy of it just to have in my collection. I don't know if it will though. Because you gotta think about it, right? Emulation is a thing, and Pokemon games are still extremely expensive. Like, you can emulate most Pokemon games like on your fucking phone if you want, let alone if you have a PC, you can emulate any of them, and they're still dumb expensive. So I don't know if that's really gonna matter to people. I mean, I would love for that to be the case, because I would love to have that on my shelf, but I don't know if that actually will be the case. I was right. Let me see. Fire Emblem Path of Radiance added to the GameCube Classic Switch Online. Hell yeah. Where's my Switch at? I'm about to charge this bitch up right now. Hold on. You know what, chat? Us talking about Fire Emblem might have actually inspired me to actually play a video game. The question now is, do I play Conquest on my 3DS or do I start up Path of Radiance on my Switch? Just booted up my Switch and yes, Path of Radiance. Before I buy Switch 2, I can play Switch games on it, right? Correct. Yes, I have put Nintendo Switch 1 cartridges in my Switch 2. You are safe. I was also concerned about that when the Switch 2 came out, because I was like, it would not put it past me if Nintendo was like, get fucked. But at the same time, it would have also just given you a reason, I guess, to continue using your Switch 1, because now that I have a Switch 2, what reason is there for me to ever use my original Switch? My original Switch has sat in its carrying case, like on my shelf, since my Switch 2, like since I got it. And I don't see a reason to like ever use it again, you know what I mean? Which is like kind of sad, I guess. What's the best Fire Emblem game for someone who's new to the series? Three Houses. Still use my Switch once to find it more comfortable portably than the Switch 2. See, I'll be going there. I just be in the house anyway. It doesn't make much of a difference to me. And the Switch 2 is like so much nicer, just in terms of like how it feels in the hand, and then obviously like the screen. Like, I don't know how they do it, but like that screen damn near feels like an OLED screen.
海風に乗せて反射です。みんなに届け。これが私の全力の歌。
My favorite Persona character, like of all time. Like out of any of the games. If we're counting like just like the mainline, like actual console games, I want to say Mitsuru. But I'm not gonna lie, P5X has some original characters that I really like. Like the original characters in this game are like really good. Like I love Ayaka. I really like the teacher in this game as well, Katayama. I think the social links in this game are pretty solid. Let me get through these RPGs one day. You too. You too, huh? Otaha and Tomoko go to me. Yeah, I think all the original characters in the game are pretty good. But on my disc I had to replay for like 2 years. If I get 2 years removed from a playthrough, I gotta start over. It should have just been a mainline game. Well, the point behind this game is to like get people addicted to gambling and generate a lot of revenue from selling it. But like, not like, it's funny because this game actually gets hated on like a lot by like super snobby Persona fans who half the time haven't even played the games that they're allegedly a fan of. But I don't know, man. I think this game's really fun. I think this game's really cool. There's a lot, like I don't see, the only reason I see to dislike this game is if you are just vehemently opposed to gacha games, because you just feel like those business practices are just like very predatory, and you just don't stand for that, right? Like I think it was really good, especially for a mobile game. Yeah, no, I see constant hate for this game on the timeline from like other Persona fans. The people who don't play it really hate it, but I don't understand why anyone who likes Persona wouldn't like this game unless you are just against all gacha games. If you're somebody who just you don't like gacha games, you don't like microtransactions, you think the predatory nature of these games is like extremely harmful, and like if you're somebody with that perspective and that view and that mindset, I'm like, okay, cool. Like I respect that, I get that, that makes sense. But unless that is your outlook on just microtransactions and gacha gaming in general, I don't understand what there is to not like about this game, truthfully, because you're just playing Persona. I like P5X, but it's a time sink. Nigga, my first playthrough of Persona 5 vanilla was 120 hours. All Persona games are a time sink. Now, obviously this one is like a continuous time sink, and I get that. I've got over 600 hours in this game, but like, again, that's all mobile games. Brother got 100 hours in Dancing in Starlight. He's the realest Persona fan. I've never played the dancing games. It's really feel like P5 without the heart. Well, the writing at the start of this game wasn't nearly as good, right? But it's a lot better now, and it still has all the other elements. Like, what makes Persona Persona, right? You've got the calendar system, you've got the super stylish like art and like UI and everything. Obviously, you have the turn-based combat, the music, like every single element that I love about Persona exists in this game. The only like major flaw that it had, again, outside of the obvious like microtransactions, right? Like that obviously I'm not trying to like excuse that, but like if we're talking about the actual game itself, was the writing of the first 2 palaces, but it has increased exponentially. Like the 3rd palace is so much better than the first 2. It's not even close. So now it really is just like either you hate gacha games or nah, which, you know what I mean? So yeah, you get the UI, you get the combat, you get the music, you get the characters, you get social, you get like all the day-to-day activities. Like it's like quite literally everything I like about Persona exists in this game. So.
次の曲
You hear the writing got better? Yeah, so those of you who don't play or like aren't invested in this at all, you may or may not know, and it may or may not matter to you, but the person who was the writer for the first 2 palaces, he like got fired. Like he got replaced by somebody else. And the new guy is a lot better. I dare to think they may have made more money if it wasn't a gacha, but I'm speaking very ignorantly. No. Nah, they're making infinitely more money by it being a gacha game. There might be more people who bought it than there are people who are currently playing this, but the amount of money gacha players spend far overshadows the amount of money that these companies make from selling like units of a console game. Like it supersedes it by a lot. Yeah, no, this shit is literally the infinite money glitch. One thing nowadays I don't like about mobile games is the stamina system and the stamina cost for farming content being so expensive. I'm not gonna lie though, like the stamina system as well, it just feels a lot better in this game than other games as well. I feel like I kind of always have something to do. Like I've never gotten on this game and be like, damn, I have nothing to do, because there's always a bunch of other content as well. Like for example, right, you have like full-blown like actual palaces to go to, you know what I'm saying? Like if we take a look here, these are like, this is a bunch of shit you can do in the game right now. Palaces require no stamina whatsoever. We have 3 of them so far that have like these really big maps, you know what I'm saying? Like there's a lot to explore and do in each of these places, in each of these palaces. Like they're actually pretty fucking huge. This is all just one palace. You know what I'm saying? We've got 3 of them hosts so far, and you know, 100% clearing these, getting all the items and chests and everything like that, going through the actual story itself. And then obviously like when you're farming, use your stamina, this is all the different stuff you can do as well. But then you have the Velvet Trials, which, you know, I'm almost finished with all of these, but you have a bunch of this shit to go through. This requires no stamina. I forgot to collect my Stardust today. This requires no stamina for you to do. You have the Sea of Souls, which going through this is just auto, but you know, trying to get scores in here and everything. You have you constantly have other events going on. You got Metro Desire, which I was just doing. You have doing the boss runs in your Companions. You have Crossroads of Fate events that are always going on, you know, clearing these events out, and then also getting extra story content as well from here, like these little side stories or spin-offs or whatever that like reference the original game. And you get to see all those characters, and mind you, these all give you all types of rewards. You're getting jewels, you're getting coins to summon weapons, you're getting these to exchange for weapons for the main character, you're getting level up materials, you're getting badges for your profile. You know what I mean? And then also on top of that, like you have 2 different modes here where it's like, okay, you're just doing the challenge mode or the stamina mode. In the challenge mode, it's just, can you clear this level of difficulty? But if you want to spend stamina, you can, but you don't even have to if you don't want to. But if you do, you then get points that you can use to exchange in the shop in order to get more items. You know what I'm saying? So like, I feel like this game does a really good job of throwing a lot, and I mean a lot of content at you that doesn't even require stamina in order for you to continue playing the game. And then you get rewarded for clearing said content. You know what I'm saying? And obviously we got this anniversary stuff going on right now, getting all these rewards and shit. You had this whole thing of cutscenes to go through, and I don't know. There's just constantly, there's always a ton to do in this game. You have a whole, you have mementos in this game. You know what I'm saying? You have all these different areas of mementos to go through. Like, you know what I mean? There's you have like full-blown mementos in this bitch. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know, man. This game has like, I cannot fathom. I cannot fathom not liking this game if you like Persona, and especially if you like Persona 5, unless you just hate gacha games in general. In that which case, like, that's fair. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I definitely feel you on like stamina systems, like kind of holding you back and like taking away from some of your enjoyment. But in this game, it's like almost never an issue because most of the stuff that you can do in the game actually doesn't require you to use your stamina. You know what I'm saying? And some of it does, like this, for example, like doing your daily tasks, like this requires you to use your action points, but you get 5 of these every single day for free, right? You can hold up to 20 at a time. There's also, you know, your marathon energies, which, how do I, this here? You can get these by paying money, but also you get free ones all the time. And then also you can get items in game to like replenish this as well. And doing an action only requires 1 point, you know what I'm saying? So, you know, doing your social links and stuff like that. But like, even then, like you get a decent amount of those marathon energies. Like, hold on, let me check my Steam. Yeah, I have 630 plus hours in this game, and it's been available in English since what, like September? When did this game come out in English? Well, 6 months ago, right? So that would have been not September. That would have been, what is it right now? Is January? It was what, July? "5X director was not missing his words." Nah, not at all. What is this tweet? Yo, Fry, this is the most accurate shit fucking ever. This is the most accurate tweet about Persona fans ever. It's like, the thing is, like, that tweet is like barely an exaggeration, if at all. That's really what it feels like. Listen to these motherfuckers. When I see niggas talk about Persona on Twitter, it's like, are you sure you're a fan of this series? Speaking of taking chances and technically bringing new characters, trying your luck to win at the game, have you heard about the MPJ Golden State Warriors rumors? Yes, I have. And I hope that they're able to actually acquire him. I would love that for Golden State. I would love that for MPJ. But I don't know if Golden State's going to have shit that Brooklyn really wants. Like, I think Brooklyn would take Jonathan Kuminga, but it's going to take more than that. On medicine time? Okay, I'll come up here in a moment. The thing is, MPJ has played too well this season, so now his value is a lot higher. MPJ's value is probably the highest it has ever been since he's been in the NBA. So it's gonna take, I don't think they're gonna let him go very easily. Actually, we'll use a marathon energy right now. Part of the rumor that's confusing is Brooklyn not wanting Kuminga. Oh, see, I didn't know that. Clickety clank, clickety clank. Money goes into my piggy bank. I do all my goals. I did. We still got some weekly goals left. I do all my daily shit. Can't wait for Persona 6 to drop and the whole Persona community suddenly likes Persona 5 and starts acting like no one ever slandered it. Well, it's the darndest thing, right? Because Persona, the biggest reason why Persona is as popular and mainstream as it is right now is because of Persona 5. Persona 5 is massively popular and successful and is what catapulted this series into like mainstream, right? It was my first Persona, and it was most Persona fans at this point's first Persona, because that's how much more it has grown since that game has come out to where that was most people's first Persona game that are a fan of the series. But it went from like this huge massive success and this hit to where now it's like, I guess, cool to shit on the game, right? Like it wasn't that good or whatever. Like, I don't know. But then like the tweet that I linked in here earlier, it's like, oh yeah, that's that normie slot. But then also like P3 sucks. But then also like I kind of hate P4 in it. It's like, bro, what? Like, but I love Persona 3, 4, and 5, and I love P5X. I've never played a Persona game that I didn't like. P5X has made $8.4 million in the US alone since July. Yeah, and I'm sure the market is significantly larger in China, Japan, Korea, and the other servers of the game. So I know they're making dumb bank in China, and I'm sure they're making crazy bank in Japan. You consider SMT fans in the Persona hype too? I started with P3 and I just went backwards first. Nah, I think for the most part, SMT fans and Persona fans surprisingly don't have that much overlap. I think it's also one of those things, you guys know how like a square is a rectangle, but a rectangle isn't a square. SMT fans, some of them are kind of elitist and don't fuck with Persona, but SMT fans are more likely to enjoy and or play Persona than Persona fans are to play SMT. I feel like a lot of Persona fans don't go near SMT, and SMT fans will, like, they kind of fuck with it sometimes, but like a lot of them kind of like turn their nose up at it because they kind of see Persona fans as lesser beings, and they're kind of right, but you know, they're kind of two completely different fan bases, honestly. They're right, yeah, they're low-key kind of right, so I can't even be mad at them. Anyway, guys, I'm probably gonna take off here for the night. I'll go help give my bunny his medicine, and then I'm probably gonna head to bed. Appreciate you guys for hanging though. It was gonna be a short stream either way, but at least we got to play a little bit of Persona before I ended after 2K went horribly wrong. I keep trying to play that game solo, but every time I do, it's been all bad. So I probably just got to give up playing 2K unless the guys are around, which is a shame. Unless I want to do like my career or some shit. But anyway, appreciate y'all. Thank you for hanging. Thank you for the subs, the gift subs, the bits, and the follows. Yeah, I don't really have anywhere to drop y'all off at this hour, so I'm gonna just take off. I'll see y'all when I see y'all. Y'all be easy, man. Later.